You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Today, listeners, you're in for a triple treat. Yes, I said that magic word, and I can just picture dogs all over the globe right now. They're kind of cocking their heads and wagging their tails in anticipation. Hey, doggies, this treat is calorie-free, and it's worth far more than any doggy dessert you've ever devoured. The theme of today's show is pet wellness, and our three special guests, they actually dedicate their lives to bringing out the physical, mental, and spiritual best in pets and their people. At this time, I want to give pause and applause to, in alphabetical order, Dawn Celapino. She is founder of Leash Your Fitness. All over San Diego County, you will find Dawn leading dogs and people in exercises and adventures that provide a healthy outlet for energetic dogs, and they keep us two-leggers in shape. Welcome to the show, Dawn.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Next up, Kim St. Clair. She is an animal care consultant. She's certified in Tellington Touch therapy, canine massage, aromatherapy, and so much more. She's very intuitive. She addresses the emotional issues in pets, and she's all about bringing harmony in pet households. Welcome to the show, Kim.
Thanks so much.
All right. Now, last but certainly not least, we have Cindy Wenger. She is a Reiki master, an herbalist, a flower essence practitioner, an animal communicator, and guess what, folks? She's even an ordained minister. If you want to say I do, Cindy is your gal. She operates a company called Herbs for Your Pets, and she is founder of the website Peaceable Kingdom. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you, Arden.
All right, we got it all down. Whew, jeez. Now, Dawn, Kim, and Cindy, I want you all to take well-deserved bows. I mean, play bows, that is, because all three of you are going to unleash ways to keep our pets well, inside and out. And we're going to learn how they're going to offer us some tips right after we pay for this show by taking a commercial break. So, sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. CATTREETRAY.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now, back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Today's show is all about achieving wellness in our pets and ourselves. And here to get us on the right path are our three special guests. Dawn Celapino, founder of Leash Your Fitness, Kim St. Clair, a Tellington Touch practitioner, and Cindy Wenger, animal communicator and pet herbalist who spearheads a company called Herbs for Your Pets. So let's get started by getting to know our guest a bit better. And since today is your birthday, we're going to start with you, Dawn. Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You are an ageless wonder. You're like 90, but you have the body of a 40-year-old. Is that right?
40-year-old. I have a body of a 20-year-old.
Oh, good girl, good girl. Yeah. I'm just teasing. Yes, this woman is totally fit inside and out. And I want you to tell us, first off, why you're a personal trainer. You have a lot of other credentials. Tell us why you created this company called Leash Your Fitness.
Okay, well, back in 2008, actually, I was working out, and I just stopped going to the gym in 2005 when I got my dog, because Jack loves running, he loves swimming, he loves anything active, and he's so much fun to be with. So I just decided to start working out at the parks and bringing him along. And then eventually, like little by little, I started incorporating my clients' dogs with their workouts, and it kind of took their mind off of working out. And I was actually at a surf dog event in 2008 and saw the thousands of animal lovers there. And I thought, you know what, I just need to go and do this and create a program so other people can also work out with their pets and not leave them behind when they go to the gym, or actually take their dog walks to the next level so they get a better workout than just taking their dogs for a walk. So that's basically how it became a business. And we've been helping people for a couple years now.
I think you touched upon three things that are important. First of all, listeners, she's got a dog named Jack who is a Karen Terrier that I think he makes the Energizer Bunny look like pathetically motionless. I have never hardly ever seen Jack not moving. So you were perfectly matched, don't you think?
Yeah, and I did a lot of research before I got Jack, and he's exactly what I was looking for. A little dog that I can take everywhere, but they describe him as a little dog a big dog in a little body, and that's exactly what he is. He can do, as a matter of fact, we were even filmed on Animal Planet for Mighty Dog, because he's a little mighty dog.
He got some kind of award for that, wasn't he? What was his honor?
Yeah, there were 3 dogs that they picked to be mighty dogs and he was one of them, because he just goes and goes and goes and does everything.
He does everything, folks. He surfs, he paddle boards, he dock dives. What are some of the other talents?
Well, he goes mountain biking with me, he goes running with me, trail running. We run like 12 miles and he can go. And of course, he helps me teach all of my classes, and he's a really good ambassador because he gets along with all the dogs, and he knows when to chill out, and he knows when to turn it up.
All right. The other part that you brought up that I think is very important is by incorporating your dog, it doesn't seem like such a chore when you're working out, correct?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so fun to watch people that basically they hate working out. They hate sweating. They hate running. But when you add your dog to it, I mean, it's a whole nother dimension, because you're thinking of your dog, and you're thinking of, having them beside you, and then there's other people involved, and they're laughing, and everyone's joking, and before you know it, you don't even know you're burning calories.
There you go. And I guess the third part is that, you take the dog workout to the next level. So you've told us a little bit about the bennies for the person, but I'm a dog right now. I don't know what kind of dog I'd be. I think I'd probably be a lab, because I'm eager to please. So, all right, I'm a lab. I'm in Dawn's Leash Your Fitness class. What's the bennies for me to be in your class? Besides, I could just take a walk with my owner or my pet parent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the benefits are we incorporate dog obedience in all the classes. So a lot of people don't know that mentally stimulating your dog will actually tire them out a lot faster than just physical exercise alone. So right in the middle of doing an exercise, we'll have the dog sit, lay down, heel, do a trick, do something that they have to think. And so, you see people all the time walking their dogs, talking on their cell phones, and they're not really, bonding with their dog if they're talking on their cell phone and letting their dog just do whatever it wants. In our class, you are bonding with your dog for 1 full hour. You're making them sit, you're running with them. It's constant bonding the whole time. And so, and it's great for all dogs because we time everything. So the dogs are only running for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then they're in a sit for a minute or a down or something, and then they're running again. So even older dogs can do it. Little dogs that can't exercise a lot, they can do it. So it's been working out really well for everybody.
And I have to do a disclosure, folks. I have been taking Dawn's class for the past couple of years with my big and little dog, Chipper and Cleo, and we love it. I mean, when I'm traveling, I'm bummed, Dawn, when I can't make your class.
to do
there you
it
go.
on the road.
All right. So we've been speaking with Dawn Celapino. We're going to talk with her in a little bit more, but we're going to get to know now. Up next in alphabetical order is Kim St. Clair. And folks, I met her at a pet expo in San Diego. She had a booth, and it was just days after I got hit from behind in a pretty bad car accident with my 2 dogs in the car. And we were hit at a stoplight by a big Toyota Tundra going about 30 miles an hour. About $7,000 in damage to my vehicle. I heard that sound no one as a pet parent wants to hear, that, which is my 2 dogs who were in the back. They were fortunately safe, but I was just kind of walking stiffly from booth to booth with my dogs and praying that Chipper and Cleo would not decide at this moment to yank on their leashes and dash off in different directions. But I really needed to go to this pet expo. And out of the blue, I hear this voice, "Can I help you? Are you doing okay?" And the voice was from Kim St. Clair. She is highly intuitive. She has a website called doghealer.org. And, you know, Kim, you really do know how to tap into the emotions of both people and pets. So I wanted to ask if you could just give us a little background about being an animal care consultant and what motivated you to pursue this path.
Well, unfortunately, I work with dogs sometimes don't like people, and I totally understand that. But it's how do I bring the harmony between the person and the pet? And quite honestly, that's not how this journey began. It just began, you know, I did massage therapy for people and then just continued to delve into these things. And I've been doing this work now for 2 decades and absolutely love it. So I might have a client say, come to me, and, you know, they're just totally stressed out all the time, and their dog, you know, has no hair left. And, you know, with loving compassion, I want to say, look at your dog, and let's take some breaths here. Do you think there's a correlation here? Do you think that something is going on? And the truth is, the people that find me are absolutely the people that are also ready to heal themselves.
Well, I think you definitely do walk the walk and talk the talk and do it all. I think what you're saying to us is our pets can be our emotional barometer, correct?
Yes.
And so if we're having a bad day or we're stressed out, they're taking in that stress.
Yeah, and it's funny, I want to share this briefly. I was walking yesterday, and I saw this woman walking. She was on her cell phone, and no judgment, just compassion, but she was yelling at her dog, "Stop talking. Stop talking." Oh. And I wanted to pull over from a loving place and say, "You stop talking." So
yeah.
That's for the dogs who, you know, want their, I like to say, guardians or companions, be with them. Be with them completely.
Yeah, we don't live in the moment much with our pets, do we?
No, and that's why animals are so great, because they're present every moment. And survival is down on the floor. And if you really want to see how your animal experiences life, I think Dawn's got the right idea. She's down on the ground, you know, you're doing these different things or what have you. Get on all fours and crawl in a field with your dog and see how they see the world, and you'll be able to understand them better.
I like that. I'll just wear knee pads so I don't have grass stains on my pants.
Just wear shorts.
Oh, okay, sure, no problem. Well, that's Kim St. Clair, and last but certainly not least, this woman, Cindy Wenger, I mean, I'm serious. You wear many collars in the pet world, and you wear them well. I'm looking at your website. You have 2, not 1. The first one is herbsforyourpets.com, and the second one is Peaceable Kingdom, and then just add an AC, I guess, at the end, .com. Cindy, you are an animal communicator, you're an herbalist, and you've studied with the very renowned Rosemary Gladstar. I've got to tell you, I've met her. I wrote a couple of herb books when I was at Rodale Press and Prevention Magazine, and my goodness, she is amazing. A Reiki master, flower essence practitioner, and if anybody wants to say I do, call Cindy because she's an ordained minister. So, Cindy, tell us a little bit about what puts you on this holistic wellness path for both people and pets.
Well, I, like Kim, always had a close affinity, love and respect for animals, and I've really been talking with them all my life as a young child. I was never afraid of them. I gravitated to them more than people. And, you know, you go through your teenage years and get married and, you know, have a career and things like that. My normal job for many years was in the legal field, and I walked away from it. I didn't pursue it anymore and got busy with other things. And I had 2 dogs that died very close together, and it really rattled me. And I decided at that time that it was time for me to reconnect at a higher and deeper level. So I studied under Penelope Smith, who is kind of the guru of animal communicators. And I've been doing animal communication professionally now for over a decade. And I found that with my clientele that there was a real wanting to find alternative modalities for healing emotionally and physically and spiritually for their pets other than conventional. And I had decided that in 2010 that, 2009, I started looking around for an herbalist or an herbal program to study herbs and get into that. And I found this program with Rosemary Gladstar in Vermont. So I pursued that. I got certification from her in January 2010. And as I was going through the coursework, found that there wasn't a lot out there as far as products for pets on the herbal line, at least not 100% USDA certified organic. And this is what I wanted to do for the pets. Anything I've done, I've always kind of had pets in mind to enhance my animal communication business. And in June of 2010, I launched Peaceful Kingdom Essentials, which are herbal tinctures and products for pets, and have found that, it's a dream come true. I've always wanted to write a book, and it never happened, but instead I've got my own product line, and I've been very happy and thankful that it's worked out the way it has.
Well, that sounds great. Cindy, I've written over 30 books. I've got really strong typing fingers, but I've never, ever launched a whole product line. So, you know what? You're probably following the path that you feel best adapt and most comfortable in.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, did you ever marry a dog to a dog or a cat to a cat or anything like that yet?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Okay, well, that might be
happy to do that if they would like to do that.
I mean, if New York passes the gay marriage law, that's cool. Who knows? Maybe cats can marry dogs. We got to be open-minded folks, right?
Sure, why not?
All right, we're speaking with Dawn Celapino, Cindy Wenger, and Kim St. Clair. These are folks that are going to bring out the healthy best in both our pets and us, and we're going to learn more how they can give you some tips right after we take this commercial break. So everybody sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. All Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Dana Humphrey, the founder of Whitegate PR. We have been specializing in PR and marketing in the pet industry for over 10 years. If you have a pet product or service you would like to promote, give us a call. We can help create awareness for your brand on TV, radio, magazines, newspapers, and blogs. Feel free to reach me directly at 619-414-9307 or learn more on our website at whitegatepr.com or follow us on Facebook.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to Oh Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I'm delighted that we have 3 terrific people on our show, and they are here to help us all. Let's start with you, Dawn. What are a couple of tips that you might be able to share to our listeners as founder of Leash Your Fitness to make us sweat and smile and get those tails a-wagging?
Oh, okay. Well, I always tell people if walking is their only form of exercise with their dog, just add in some exercises along the way. You can stop along on the park benches and do some push-ups on the park benches. You can do dips. You can add a couple of lunge walks, and of course, add a couple sprints in there instead of just doing a regular walk. You can sprint for a little bit, and also to add the dog obedience. So don't just let the dog sniff and do that maybe for a little bit, but add a sit, add a down, add a little trick, add something to it to make it a little bit more fun and make the dog think along the way.
Okay. That sounds good. And you're changing the tempo. I guess you probably also maybe change the location of your walk.
Yeah.
Don't always do the same old.
Instead of just going the same old route all the time, add some hills, add a different route, go to the beach, just totally mix it up. You can do more than walking with the dog too. You can take them kayaking. We take the dogs kayaking, camping, hiking. We take them surfing, swimming. There's a lot of different things that you can do with your dog, especially when it's hot. You don't want to just take them on the hot pavement or anything like that. You can take them swimming with you, or if you have access to something like that, you can mix it up a little bit. It's good for the dog too. It's good for the dog.
I've been to your weekend camping trips, folks. It gives new meaning to the term pup tents. Seriously, when you're all in your tents at night and all of a sudden you hear a little dog go, oh, or woof, woof, woof. But it's a lot of fun. And boy, those dogs by the end of the weekend, Dawn, they are doggone tired. But
they're so tired. They're so tired,
happy.
So dirty. The dirtier the better.
Yeah, when I get done with the weekend camp, my dogs are normally blonde dogs. They become brown dogs. And They do not step one paw into my house until we go to Dippity Dog Wash on the way home. And I just see this river of brown coming out of them. And boy, that night we're all kind of wiped out, but happy.
Totally, but so happy.
Yeah, and you're telling us some things that we can do with our dogs. What are some things that we should bring if we're going to be hiking with our dogs, whether it's an hour hike or maybe you want to do a half-day hike? Are there some things that you like to make sure folks with Leash Your Fitness?
That's a whole other thing is the hiking and the activities. There's a lot to know, especially, I don't know about where everyone that's listening is, but right now it's really hot in California, and you don't want to take your dogs hiking when it's hot. The rattlesnakes are out. The dogs are going to overheat. I see, people all the time on the trails. When I'm done at 8 o'clock in the morning, they're just starting and it's already too hot to have your dogs out. So you need to start early when it's hot, really early, and make sure that there's plenty of water. Just because you're not overheating doesn't mean your dog isn't. Your dog has a fur coat and they don't have the same, cooling mechanism that we have as sweating. So you have to take lots of water. And also remember your dog doesn't have shoes on. So you have to watch for burrs and foxtails and all that kind of stuff too. That, that you don't realize because you have shoes on, but the dog doesn't. And if the ground's too hot. So there's a lot of factors, to keep in mind.
And you touched upon the water. I know when we go on hikes, I have water bottles that are designated for me and those for my dogs. But they also have those little things you can put on water bottles, lids, that are for the dogs, or if you don't care, just share the water bottle.
Yeah, definitely. We carry the water bottles, and we also carry the little foldable water bowls. It's all what your dog is used to. Like my dog's used to, I just take the cap off the water bottle, and my dog drinks out of the cap. But other dogs don't like that. And like you said, some dogs like just pouring the water right out of the water bottle into their mouth. They love that. Other dogs have to drink out of their own bowl. So it's all in what your dog's used to, but you have to be aware of what the dog's used to and take that with you.
Okay. Any safety tips when they're on trail or off trail and off leash?
Well, always make sure that, first of all, they're allowed on the trails where you are. A lot of state parks don't allow dogs, so make sure if you are planning on hiking with your dog that they are allowed on the trails. Also, like I said, you want to make sure that there's shade. If it's anywhere near hot, you don't want to go. Or else go where there's going to be water, like go on a hike that's along a river, something like that, so the dog can go in and get cooled off. If they're off leash, they have to have a good recall. Definitely. You can't.
And when you say good recall, does that mean they know how to do voter counts, or what are you talking about?
That means when you call them, they come back immediately. If you see a coyote or something on the trail, you don't want your dog to be out trying to play with it. You want it to listen to you and know that you mean business when you call the dog back.
Okay. You also have a fun leash you use, and I use it now with Chipper and Cleo, and I've got a 68-pounder and a 12-pounder. Tell us about the leash rather than having both hands on each leash.
Yeah, we got these leashes. They're hands-free leashes, and we sell them on our website, and they go around your waist. And a lot of people think that they can't use them because their dogs pull too much. That's actually more reason to use them. If you think about your arm when you're holding your dog, your arm is moving all over the place. But think about your dog when you tie them up to a tree or a pole or something. They don't pull because they're not moving that pole. Well, your body, your core that the leash is attached to is kind of like that pole. It's not going to move as much as your arm does. So the dogs don't pull nearly as much when they're, and then plus your hands are free. So So it's great when you're, even trying to shop or hike or anything that you want your hands free and the dog isn't pulling you. It works out great. The other day I saw a lady pushing a baby stroller with one hand and having the dog on the other hand. And I was telling her about the leash, and it'd be perfect for her because she could put the leash around her waist and have both hands available for her baby.
Yeah,
and
that's a really good tip.
Yeah, they're really super nice, and I never use any other leash now. I'm so spoiled using that leash because I just put it right on my waist. And then if you do want to tie your dog, like say you want to run into a store or something, tie your dog outside for just a second, you can just take the leash off and wrap it right around the pole, and voila, it's done and it's ready to go.
Folks, you can check out that leash by going to leashyourfitness.com and find out about her classes and other tips. These are great, Dawn. I appreciate that. Kim, you do many things. The one thing I was hoping you could really explain to folks is the Tellington Touch therapy. And why is this form of touch so therapeutic for both the pets and the people? Instead of just pat, 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 pat your dog on the head or your cat.
Right. Well, one thing that makes the Tellington Touch different is that we're working the nervous system. So when you work the nervous system, all four brain states are activated. As we know, we're animals too. So all beings that receive the work can benefit from that. And so it could be from stress, old age, trauma, whatever's going on. And I'd like to share with the listeners one particular touch. We call them ear slides. And the fun thing about these, I'll get back to the ear slides in a minute, is that all the touches are named after animals. So it's really easy to remember the hand configuration. The ear slides, intuitively we do stroke our dog's ears. So starting at the base and going to the tip very mindfully, and it's like stroking a piece of velvet or a rose petal, you can change the respiratory, reproductive, and digestive tracts. So
wow.
It's really great, and it's simple, and it's easy to remember because people are like, what touch did she talk about? But we intuitively do that anyway. I think we just don't know what we're doing. So that's that. And
you said the respiratory, digestive, and what was the other?
Reproductive. So if you have a dog who's birthing, you can really help through that, and it really does help change the breath system.
Now, when you're doing it, I'm assuming we got to be getting our breath being purposeful, too, because if we're in a hurry or, come on, dog, I want to hurry up and do this thing called the ear slide, then I got to go. That's probably not the right thing to do, right?
That's right, and that's it. That's being present with your dog. And I have a lot of clients who say, wow, I didn't think I had time to do this. And I'm much more present with my dog and what's going on because I relax, too. And I'll have a lot of clients who just say, I can't do the mindful petting anymore. Now I'm making all these circles all over the body and doing these great ear slides. To share a quick story, I was driving one day. I saw this very small dog had been hit by a car, and his person was in trauma as well as he. So I just started doing the ear slides on both the person. I asked her for her permission, working on the person and the dog, and you could just see their eyes. They were coming out of shock. The person was coming to get the dog to the veterinarian, and I told the young son of the family, sweetie, please keep doing what I've been doing. He goes, I was watching. I'm going to do it. And they were a neighbor, and I walked by like 3 days later, and the little boy said, I know that whatever those things were that I was doing on those ears saved my dog's life. And I said, perhaps, and timing. But if you remember one touch from this show today, I would highly suggest the ear slides.
Well, Chipper and Cleo are lining up right now, but I can just see you've just motivated a whole new generation. Those kids, I don't know about you guys, but kids are so savvy and so smart, and they're so clear of mind. They don't have, all this clutter in their head. And if they learn something and they take it to heart, wow, that's a powerful gift you just gave that young boy.
Thank you.
All right, Cindy, we got to talk about herbs because herbs are nature's pharmacy. And please tell us a little bit about why it's important, as you do with your products, to have them USDA certified and organic, and why they are medicine and why we need to be very careful what we give our pets.
Well, to me, it was really important to have the certification that the product was organic because I feel that's the highest level that you can get. And I wanted to put a product together that people could feel comfortable with and know that it was safe. I know even with my manufacturer, before we put any ingredient into the products, she has to have a copy of the certification in hand before she'll even do business with a supplier. I just found that with the herbs, it was kind of a back to nature thing that I wanted to explore and have available for people's pets and animals. You do have to be careful. I strongly believe that having a pet healthy has to start with their diet. And I'm a big proponent of organic, raw, and or human-grade food for the pets. I think that helps with their overall well-being and their immune system to fight diseases.
I agree with you. I mean, I worked at Rodale Press, and that was, what you put in your body is the fuel and also your way to keep healthy. So eating donuts or giving dogs really bad treats that are bargain priced, it's going to cost you in the long run with a dog that isn't as healthy, has a dull coat, and you might even have higher vet bills. And you probably may not have that dog or that cat as long as they could be.
That's certainly true.
All right, so give us a couple examples of some herbs that you offer for a dog or a cat, and what would be for a condition. Let's say if a dog is really stressed out or an older dog, what would be a couple of things that you could recommend? And I want everyone to go over to herbsforyourpets.com and check out the whole product line. Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, for a dog that's, let's just say, a hyper dog, valerian or chamomile are natural relaxants for the dog, and they also have added health benefits such as lowering blood pressure, asthma, and even working against pesky parasites. I find that with animals, tinctures, teas, and extracts work the best because they're absorbed into the system a lot quicker. And, of course, with any treatment, herbal or otherwise, it's always suggested that you first with your vet or holistic practitioner. With cats, you got to mention catnip. I mean, that's just the beloved by felines all over the world, and for good reason. It really makes them very happy. And I like to think of it as an after-work cocktail for cats that relieves them of stress and nervousness. And also, if the cat is scratching and has itchy skin, a catnip tea bath can soothe the kitty's skin.
Wow. In catnip, no cats have hangovers either. There's never going to be Cat Hangover 2, the movie, like they have now.
Right.
Okay, sorry, guys. It's called Oh Behave. I told you. I warned you at the beginning. We're almost near the end. I wanted to see if each one of you could do a shout-out. If there's something you'd like to mention, we got to make sure we mention your websites. Dawn Celapino, the birthday girl and founder of Leash Your Fitness, what's the biggest wish that you hope that people and their pets can embrace?
Our goal is to get people moving. So we want to get people that normally would not exercise out and exercising. We have people with disabilities in our class. We have 70-year-old women in our class. And we just say anything is better than nothing. So if all you're doing is taking your dog for a walk around the block and you come to our class and do what you can do, it's better than what you were doing before. So that's our goal. That's
anything is better than nothing, and get people moving, right?
Yep, and we, teach them different things they can do on their own, and, teach them about balance and strengthening their core and all that kind of stuff that people just don't really think about because they don't know.
Okay, and move that mutt.
Move that mutt.
Okay, that sounds good.
The rise, just as, people and dog obesity is on the rise. So we're trying to combat that one dog at a time.
All right, well, you're doing a great job, and we're talking with Dawn Celapino, and her website is called leashyourfitness.com. She is based in San Diego, but folks, her stuff is getting attention all over the country. So you might be having a class in your area thanks to the creativeness and the dedication of Dawn. And I hope you're having a great birthday today.
Oh, yeah, it's raining in Pennsylvania, but we're going to, I think we're going to relax and go to the mall today and enjoy the pool tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds good. And Kim, what's the message you want to, or the mantra that you want to give to our listeners?
I'd say trust your intuition. If you're looking at your dog and you say, it feels like something's wrong, but everyone else around you tells you no, just trust your intuition, always in decisions. I think that really helps a lot of people feel better about, when time goes by and they don't trust that. also, as Dawn said, be in balance. You know, we've talked a lot about that on this show today. And I think that's what's going on in our world right now. We're all healing.
Right.
HEALING. So really be with your pet. And something else that came up that's really important I want to share, so many animals have intestinal problems these days. And what came up for me while we were doing this show was just shout out, be very mindful of the cleaning products, what you put on the floor. It may seem simple, but many animals lick their paws. And if you're putting a product that, if you wouldn't put it in or on your body, you know, pretty much you want to follow that. So if you're eating something well, you should be able to put it on your body. And something as simple as like vinegar and water for cleaning floors is my shout-out. And I have done pet weddings, Cindy, and I'll share that with you, and you can take the vows I wrote.
Oh, really?
And,
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it used to be fun. I used to do pet weddings a lot. So, And I, too, am writing a book, and more to come on that, I hope. But my shout-out is really trust your intuition. And thank you, Arden, so much for inviting me on your show.
All right. I want everybody to know her website is called doghealer.org. And Cindy, I'm really impressed by what you do, and I could just feel your passion. And you just took this and said, I don't want to be a legal beagle anymore. I want to do what I really feel most comfortable. So what's your take-home message you want to give our listeners today?
Well, I agree with Kim with your intuition. I think anyone that loves animals is already intuitive with their pets. But I guess my shout-out today is to get yourself educated, start reading labels, and pursue alternative remedies for your pets. They're safer. You don't have the side effects. And I think that, you know, you do it for yourself, you do it for your animal's well-being, and I don't think you regret it at all. And also, I think with, being with your animal, I think it's really important for people to, as we've mentioned in the show, to be present and to really look at their animal as a spiritual being also. They do feel grief, they do feel happiness, sadness, and to bring them into your life completely is only going to enhance your life.
Wow. I got little hair standing up on my arms thanks to Cindy, Kim, and Dawn. You guys hit a home run today, and I'm delighted that you could all be on the show. And Cindy's website, folks, is herbsforyourpets.com. I hope you all will tell your buddies to tune in to the O Behave Show, and I hope you go to PetLifeRadio.com. I'm telling you, Mark Winter, the executive producer, he has a whole lineup of great hosts with great topics. We even cover everything from birds and turtles to dogs, cats, and other creatures. So, Dawn, have a great birthday.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Arden.
And Kim, thank you for your healing intuitiveness when I was on the mend.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
And Cindy, when I want my dogs to get married, I'm going to call you. But if they need herbs, I know to go to Herbs for Your Pets.
Thank you, Arden. And it was really a pleasure meeting you and Dawn and Kim. Thank you.
Oh, you guys are so nice and polite. Well, folks, that's our show for today. I, again, want to thank Mark Winter, our producer, who makes this show happen each and every week. So until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand. This is the place for a special paparazzi treat. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.